Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So for today's Reaper's Challenge we have Lair of Lostmauth, and I shall go over the dungeon and its mechanics and what you should know in order to just complete this regular dungeon. Now with this Reaper's Challenge it shall be a little bit more challenging, as we shall have no consumables allowed or artifact powers or mount combat powers. On top of that there shall be an added layer of difficulty, as in the Reaper it's 50,000 item level requirement, and in the standard version doesn't seem to be any item level requirement, and you'll get it in the random dungeon queue. So I'm going to queue up with this group here as soon as this healer gets back, and we'll go and see. So Lair of Lostmauth. Now the first thing you're going to need to do, you'll see under the minimap as soon as it loads there, we have to kill 4 groups of enemies. Each golem counts as one group. There's another group up there. We should ideally aggro that group, but I believe we can get all 4 groups here as well. There's 3 groups technically here. One golem there, and a group of enemies here. Just make sure we catch their attention. Kill all of those guys. That's 1 group down, that's 2 groups down, 3 groups, and we'll just grab these guys for our 4th group. And then we can go and face the first boss. This dungeon for me is one of my favorite. It's nice and short, you get to each of the bosses nice and quickly, and there's just a little puzzle in between the first and second boss, which pretty neat, and it also changes up every time you run it. So here we have Dragon Soul Veshal. Basically he's a cultist who rides this drake, and for the first part of the fight they're going to be together. What you want to do is stay near enough to him, or he'll start throwing that spear at pretty much random people, and ouch. Try not to be in the red because that hurts. Otherwise he's pretty basic. He does have AoE attacks in front of him, so make sure you're behind if you're DPS, or I guess in front if you're the tank. Make sure you got his attention. So we're going to phase here pretty quickly, and he reaches that 50%. He splits, so now we have the Drake and we have the boss. As a tank you're going to have to re-aggro the Drake, and you just kill them together. However, if you kill one of them, like we killed the Drake there, this guy gets buffed up, and I'm guessing he'll deal a bit more damage, have a bit more defense. Just watch out for those attacks with his AoEs that he might do on the DPS, even though I have full aggro on him. And we kill the boss, and then we have to interact with this thing in the middle, and we descend down. You literally just float, and you can also use your mount as well, floating gracefully down on our whirlwind. And then we go head to these doors, make our way through, and just another group of mobs here. Finish them off, and then we're going to have to head through one of those gates. So one of them will open up, and we'll see it's going to be this one in front of us. You could get one of the other passageways. You can see that passageway there to our left. You would just have to navigate over those lava gutters. Here we're just going to have to kill a bunch of enemies, and also avoid those red areas that you might see on the ground. That's the falling rocks. They can do a hefty amount of damage if you just stand in them. They're such a tiny area, it's very easy to move out of them. And we just keep moving along here, killing a bunch of enemies. You can see if you go the other way, you're going to have to navigate your way across that lava pool on each of those platforms. Just another bit of parkour. So the center way, which we just got, is literally just kill a bunch more enemies. It can take longer than the other ways if your group isn't such high DPS, but you don't have a choice as it's entirely random. Anyway, all 3 routes will meet back up right here, and you just have to kill this group by the campfire, which will appear once they're destroyed. So there we go, a campfire appears here. Then we just have to wait for this bridge to activate, and then you can simply jump your way across it. Just a bit of parkour, make sure your jumping skills are up to par. And now we go and face 2 bosses here, as we have twin fire scorpions, both of them. To take them on at once, you could have a DPS aggro one of them while the tank just takes the other, and then that DPS would just kite it around. However, we should be good enough to just take both, avoiding those red. That is the lethal red area. See that small little pile of lava? That's absolutely what you want to avoid. That will kill even you as a tank. So we should be good to go, keeping aggro on both of these guys. And those DPS just walked into that fire. Well done. I guess it was kind of my fault, but I gotta back up a bit. Moving out of these reds, you see, it just unnecessarily hurts. There's no point being in it. So we're just gonna be backing up a little bit. We do have up until these steps, but then of course we can turn around and back up the other way. Make sure you never go in those red areas. And DPS, you just want to kill 1 scorpion at a time. And once you've killed one of them, it's just a whole lot easier on the second. I can just move either side now here rather than having to back up too much. Again, make sure you move the damn heck out of those little lava pools. You burn down both of them, and once you do so, then the fight's over and they explode. You may as well move out of that. You can pick up your whatever loot they may drop. An insignia. Wonderful. And now we're just gonna have to wait here before this big doorway and just kill a bunch of ads which will appear over these ramparts. Here they come. All these drakes jumping over the side. Gather this group as well. Watch out, they can do a lot of damage if you're not careful and end up in the middle of them. And it'll just keep spawning either side, and you see that percentage under the mini map. That's how much you gotta kill until it's over. Hopefully you have enough damage that we don't get swarmed by these guys. We're on 60%. Keep aggroing the newcomers. This should be the last bunch that we have to kill. 90%, 95%. There we go. And the portal opens up and we can jump our way and face Lostmauth himself in his Hall of Treasure. Now you will get a bunch of cutscenes here, and if you don't all skip them, they can be pretty annoying. You can watch it for yourself, of course, if you run the dungeon. We're gonna have to interact with it again, group up again for the timer, and we get the boss. Wonderful, we all skipped the cutscene. And we should be able to take him down, no problem. Now you're on this small hexagonal arena. You need to watch out for those fireballs that'll come. If you stay right adjacent to the boss, you're all good. Here you want to stay close or dodge. Try not to get pushed back into that molten gold or you'll die. You'll take a lot of damage. Now you can see there, that section of the arena, it is red. And now you can see it's covered in molten gold. That will kill you very quickly if you're in it. You watch out for those fireballs that come across, because they could easily knock you in it if you're adjacent to it. Now we've got the boss to 50%. We need to move into the middle regardless of how the boss looks. And we need to watch out for these red spikes that'll come. You can see them. They'll glow in the small red area. You just want to move, because they will knock you into the gold if you're not careful, if you get hit by it. Of course, if you dodge, you'll be okay. Like this guy, luckily he got knocked this way and didn't die. This guy did get knocked into it. We can't go and save him because we'll get killed too quickly. But as soon as this recedes, we can go and pick him up. Now Lostmauth shall fly back, and that's pretty much all the mechanics. You see the floor glows red again there. You need to make sure you avoid that. I'll make sure I get the aggro. Ouch, that hurts a lot. Try not to be within the red fire, I guess. Get knocked by the fireballs either. It can be hard to get combat advantage against this guy if you have like a large portion of the deck. That's all that molten gold. You can see that section again there. It'll be all molten gold. As a tank, it's very easy to immunity friend those fireballs just by holding my shield up a lot. Ouch, that was the eye laser there. Sometimes you'll see his eyes will glow up, and they might be targeting somebody else other than the tank. And as the tank, if you're underneath his head, then you'll basically intercept that eye laser and you'll take the damage instead. Anyway, that's the Reaper's challenge. Fairly straightforward. We get our Reaper's mark, and we have 2 chests here. This initial one just being for free. We'll go and spend some rerolls, try and get some tokens. Very tempted to take these mount upgrade tokens, but let's try and get some of those unbinding tokens. You will get a bunch of these overload enchantments. I'm really tempting fate here. I'll just take the companion upgrade tokens there, may as well. Now for this you will need an arcane dragon key. The arcane dragon key comes from the Tyranny of Dragons campaign, and you can simply go and craft them up, as we can see here, with the following reagents: 5 gold, 6 dragon sigils, 6 cult secrets, and 30 of those horde coins. That's just the currency for the campaign itself. Otherwise you could use those keys that you can get from the Zen market here, those legendary dragon keys. I don't really recommend purchasing keys for Zen, since they're generally not going to pay you back what you do obtain from them. And that's pretty much it for the Lair of Lostmauth. You finally go and defeat Lostmauth himself. Hopefully again this was somewhat helpful to you guys. Just an overview and guide of this dungeon, some commentary of my run just doing it. Keep in mind you will have different pathways from the first boss to the second boss. With that said, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of my channel members for helping me keep my channel going. And if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.